look, we'll see how this thing shakes out. I mean, I'm not giving anybody the job right now, you know. I know we went out and drafted Tyler Shuck in the second round, but I'm sure Hayner and Rattler have something to say about that. So,
Saints legend and future Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees just gave some insight into the Saints' upcoming quarterback battle, which will start this week at OTAs. The battle between Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, and even Jake Hayner, I guess, for the starting quarterback position for this upcoming season. And Drew Brees even made a pretty wild comparison for Tyler Shuck to a fan favorite. We're going to be breaking down Drew Brees' comments on the Saints quarterback battle and previewing the quarterback battle in today's video. My name is Cash. Make sure to subscribe, help us reach 10K. We're super close. Make sure to like the video and stay up to date with all Saints and NFL content we'll be posting on here daily. So we just got some comments from Saints legendary quarterback Drew Brees regarding the Saints upcoming quarterback battle. Drew Brees had a grand opening, I believe, for a sporting goods store or some entertainment location. I'm not really too sure about the details, but he had a grand opening for another business that he was opening up. And this gave the media the opportunity to talk with him and ask him about the state of the Saints. And obviously the hot topic here was the quarterback position. Derek Carr retired. They drafted a quarterback, the competition, and people want to get insight from the GOAT himself, Drew Brees, on the Saints' upcoming quarterback room. Let's start off by going over what Drew Brees had to say about Tyler Shuck, the Saints' second-round pick, who is the highest drafted quarterback for the Saints since Archie Manning over 50 years ago. So he was asked about Tyler Shuck and had he seen anything on film, and this is what Brees had to say.
Any film on Shuck? Obviously, I'm sure you haven't seen practice, but just what's your impressions of seeing it?
I've seen what the fans have seen. You know, I haven't really dove deep to take a look at his college film. I think what's impressive to me is kid's faced a lot of adversity, and he's overcome it every step of the way. Obviously spent a lot of time in college. 3 years?
7 years of college with 3 season-ending injuries. He did overcome a lot of adversity. That is a good trait to have with your quarterback.
Oregon, 3 years at Tech, and 1 year at Louisville. I love Jeff Brom. Jeff Brom at Louisville was Purdue's head coach for a long time, developed Aiden O'Connell and a few others.
Louisville's offensive system and scheme, pro-ready system, a lot of play action and under center stuff. That's a lot of what NFL teams like to do, and not a lot of college quarterbacks do that, which is why it's sometimes hard to translate to the NFL, which is why going to Louisville was kind of important.
So he's kind of known as one of those guys who can develop QBs, and obviously Tyler Shuck really thrived in that offense with him last year.
Had his best year of college football there.
Man, I think he's big, strong, tough, standing there, deliver the ball, take shots.
I will say when Tyler Shuck is willing to get hit, he makes some pretty wild throws. Like he had one against Notre Dame, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Had 3 season-ending injuries in college. You know, honestly, a lot of similarities to Taysom Hill. You know, Taysom Hill.
There's the comparison. The comparison to the fan favorite Taysom Hill. Tyler Shuck to Taysom Hill. But to keep this within context, he's comparing their college careers. Quite a bit of time in college. Both of them had a lot of season-ending injuries, a lot of adversity. Taysom Hill, broke his leg or something like that, broke his bicep, tore his pec and something else. And Tyler Shuck had the broken collarbone twice and then broke his leg, I think, too.
He was one of these guys coming out of college who, had spent 4 or 5 years in college, had some major injuries. But, man, whenever he played really, really well, right? And obviously we know what he's meant to the team, and when he came in and played the quarterback position, played it so well. So
I don't think Taysom Hill played the quarterback position very well. I don't think Taysom Hill was that good of a quarterback. He lost to Jameis Winston in the quarterback battle. He's more of a gadget player, which is what makes Taysom Hill so special. But the comparison between Tyler Shuck and Taysom Hill works in terms of the context of college. Both really good athletes, both spent quite a bit of time playing college football, both dealt with a lot of adversity and injuries. Overall though, both are really good athletes. Tyler Shuck is a little bit bigger, but in terms of the quarterback position, Taysom Hill wasn't that great of a quarterback. He's a better gadget player. His accuracy and arm power just never wasn't fully there. Maybe if Sean Payton developed him better or spent more time with him, it would have been better. But what we saw, Taysom Hill at quarterback simply wasn't the answer. Tyler Shuck definitely has a better arm than Taysom Hill. He can definitely move, but not as well as Taysom. But I think from a college aspect, it's a solid comparison. He also had this to say in regards to his reaction to the Saints drafting Tyler Shuck.
What do you make about the Saints reaching that early for a quarterback? In a long time.
Yeah, I think too the fact that maybe Shuck wasn't on a lot of teams' radar. There was a lot of talk around Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, and then all of a sudden
Jackson Dart too.
Tyler Shuck's taken, high in the second round. What that tells me is the Saints had a guy that they really liked, and they hope that nobody else found out about it. That's what it
That's a good thing. That's what you want.
tells me. And then when they had the opportunity to take him, where they wanted to take him, they took him.
I 100% agree with Drew Brees here. If you're a team taking a quarterback in the NFL draft, you better be taking him because you love him, not because you're in need of a quarterback. And the Saints definitely really liked Tyler Shuck. He's the guy who was flying under the radar. I think the Rams were a team that really liked him as well. But the Saints taking him at pick 40 means that they loved him. The Saints also loved Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs did too, and they traded up for him. So hopefully this works out. The Saints drafted Tyler Shuck for the right reasons. They liked the traits. He has the physical abilities, and they drafted him because they loved him, not because they needed a quarterback. Now everything needs to come together. Drew Brees not only spoke about Tyler Shuck, but also just the state of the Saints quarterback room and the upcoming quarterback battle, and he's excited to see how it plays out. At first, he talks about how the Saints have a very young quarterback room and how it's kind of unprecedented for the Saints to be in this type of situation.
Well, it is a young room. I mean, it's pretty unprecedented, I think, at this point. When you look at what Jake Hayner's a third-year player, Spencer Rattler will be a second-year player, Tyler Shuck's a rookie. And I know we just went out and signed another guy, but
signed Hunter Decker's guy is 20. I'm pretty sure the average age of the Saints quarterback room is 24 years old. Very young quarterback room. When the team and the fans have been used to 38 and 40-year-old quarterback, and then 34-year-old Derek Carr, and then Jameis was like 30, Taysom Hill was like 30 something. Very young quarterback room, and very different circumstances than what the organization is used to.
I think at the end of the day, look, Kellen Moore has proven to be a great developer of quarterbacks.
We'll get to that in a second.
Wherever he's been over the last 6 years, I think we all really respect the system and kind of his way of coaching and developing. So I'm sure he's excited to be able to mold these young guys.
I'm definitely certain Kellen Moore is excited to be able to develop 2 rookie quarterbacks, 1 second-year quarterback, and Jake Haener for what it's worth.
I'm really excited to see what this offense looks like.
Me too. Kellen Moore's systems have actually been more so about the players more so than him having a scheme and a system. There's some stuff that has stuck around, but overall Kellen Moore's system and schemes have mainly been built around what their players do best, as opposed to making the players fit into a system. That's what makes him a great offensive mind. Now, something I find very interesting is that someone did ask Drew Brees about the Saints' very young quarterback room. It's a very young room with minimal experience. Although the Saints do have a lot of coaches on the coaching staff, 3 of the more important ones on offense, head coach, OC, and QB coach, have all played quarterback in the NFL, so they can help develop them there and help kind of make sure that they're going through the right steps within the process. Kellen Moore earlier today on Monday said that he feels good about the Saints' young quarterback room, and he believes the coaching experience should make up for the lack of playing experience. That's kind of where I was getting at. They have 3 coaches all who played quarterback in the NFL at some point. And now they got 4 quarterbacks with basically no experience. It's going to be their job to make sure they're ready, to make sure they're developing, to make sure that the process is slow and that the game slows down for them sooner rather than later. They're going through the right reads, and to make sure that the offensive system and scheme is making their lives easier as opposed to harder. Now, Drew Brees mentioned that Kellen Moore is a developer of quarterbacks, and Jeff Nowak went through some of the previous quarterbacks and their ages when Kellen Moore was their offensive coordinator and was calling plays for them. No one who he coached was a week 1 starter over the age of 30. 2019 to 2022, Dak Prescott was the quarterback, 26 to 29. Dak had some pretty good years in here. Justin Herbert in 2023 was 25 years old. I believe this was year 4 for him. In 2024, this past season, Jalen Hurts was 26 years old. So a lot of really young guys in here. The oldest player in the Saints quarterback room is Jake Haener at 26 years old, which is only 1 year older than the youngest person on this list, which is Justin Herbert at 25 years old. Spencer Rattler, I believe, is turning 25. Tyler Shuck is currently 25, turning 26. And even looking at the backups throughout Kellen Moore's history, only 1 person was over 30 years old, and that was Andy Dalton. Cooper Rush was 29 at one point. in 2022 for him, but no one other than Andy Dalton was over the age of 30 in these Kellen Moore quarterback offensive systems. This should give you some confidence that Kellen Moore can develop a quarterback, can make him look good despite there being some young age. This should make you feel comfortable. He's done it before. Chances are he'll be able to do it again to some degree successfully. The only difference now is, can he do it as a head coach when he has other things to focus on instead of just the offense as an offensive coordinator? That's the biggest jump. That's going to be the biggest change for him. How does he manage the team and focus on the quarterback development as the head coach? I am curious though if maybe a veteran quarterback could come in and maybe be of some help, just to be a peer who helps the young guys understand the game a little bit more. Because again, these coaches have other priorities than just focusing on the quarterbacks, other than probably just the quarterback coaches. And the final one here is a big one. Drew Brees spoke on the quarterback competition and says he would not give the job to anybody as of right now.
Look, we'll see how this thing shakes out. I mean, I'm not giving anybody the job right now, you know. I know we went out and drafted Tyler Shuck in the second round, but I'm sure...
The job is Tyler Shuck's to lose. Drew Brees saying this when the job is in favor of Tyler Shuck does, I think it means something.
Kaner and Rattler have something to say about that, so...
Jay Kaner, I don't know if he has anything to say about it. Spencer Rattler definitely does for sure, but Jay Kaner, come on. We all saw him play.
Competitions bring out the best in everybody. I'm sure Kellen's excited to mold these guys.
Yeah, Kellen's excited to mold them. And Spencer Rattler has been in this position before in terms of a quarterback competition, but we're going to get into that in another video coming up soon. I 100% agree with Drew Brees here. Let the competition play out. Don't have any predetermined winners as of right now, and just let the best man win. And I think that's what the Saints coaching staff is going to do. Now, if the competition is close and it's 50-50, they're going to give it to Tyler Shuck. In order for Spencer Rattler to flat out win this, he's going to have to literally look like damn near perfect, and Tyler Shuck's going to have to look pretty bad. And that's not what we want. I just want to see good competition between these young quarterbacks. I want to see them develop, and I want to see how Kellen Moore builds this offensive system around them. And this quarterback battle will start tomorrow, today. OTAs start this week. And depending on when you see this and when OTAs are open to the media, that's going to factor in. But all you need to know is that OTAs start this week on May 20th. And the quarterback competition is going to begin. Spencer Rattler has been training all offseason, getting ready for his opportunity, and we're going to do a video on that soon. Like I said earlier, Tyler Shuck looked impressive at rookie minicamp. In that small viewing, Jay Kaner, honestly, in my opinion, isn't even a consideration. But yes, I am well aware that Kellen Moore said Shuck, Rattler, and Haener will compete for the starting job. But honestly, we've all seen him play. It's really just going to be between Shuck and Rattler. But I will say, Jay Kaner versus Hunter Dekkers competing for QB3, I guess will be a competition in itself. We enjoyed the QB2 competition last year between Rattler and Haener. Surely we can enjoy Dekkers versus Jay Kaner this year. I'm just excited to see these young quarterbacks battle it out in this new era of Saints football, and it sounds like Drew Brees feels the exact same way. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on what Drew Brees had to say and who you got winning the Saints quarterback competition. My name's Cash. Make sure to subscribe, help support the channel, help us reach 10K to stay up to date with more Saints and NFL content, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Peace.